Ready, set, go! Greetings, children of the screen. Your friendly neighborhood nerd scum here once again, coming at you with another episode of Nerd Needs. That's right, Nerd Needs, the show where I share with all of you all the things that I need from deep down inside my nerd scum soul. And children of the screen, you know what I need? Toys. 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 Toys! That's right, the holiday season just ended and it was pretty awesome, but no matter how awesome it was, you know that whether it was when you were a little kid or when you're a big grown-up nerd scum just like myself, there are a few select toys that you just need, but they don't even exist. So, as a lover and collector of toys, specifically action figures, here are my top 3 action figure nerd needs. But first, here are a couple of runners-up. As for the runners-up, we have the Martha Wayne Joker and the Lee Bermejo Joker. Now, we've gotten a couple of statues of these versions of the characters, and I know there's going to be some people who say, well, nerd scum, the Lee Bermejo Joker is essentially the same as the Heath Ledger Joker, so why don't you just get the newest? But no, F that. Heath Ledger Joker is awesome, but it is not the same thing. I already have it, but I need both of these. I just need it. Now we're moving on. And taking up the remainder of the runner-up spots is the Suffering video game characters. All of them. Holy shit, guys, the Suffering video game and its sequel are insanely awesome, with a whole cavalcade of insane creatures and the ultimate badass killer, Torque. If you haven't seen my Nerd Needs episode on how we need a feature film of the Suffering, then definitely check that out. I will put the link down in the description below. But hell yeah, these things are amazing and awesome, and they would make totally beautifully twisted toys, and I need it! Right on, guys, so now with all the runners-up out of the way, here are my top 3 action figure nerd needs. Superman is a character who has had numerous variations on his costume design, and as DC got ready to kick off their new publishing initiative of Rebirth in 2016, they decided to bring back the pre-Crisis Superman, and as such, they gave him a new costume to differentiate him from the New 52 Superman who had recently died. And which, you know, that's actually a really good idea, because the New 52 Superman costume, while I was okay with it, it never really made sense that Superman needed an armored suit with a popped collar and, like, extra douchebag points, but, you know, the Rebirth costume was really cool, but it never really did it for me. But then, right around the time of Doomsday Clock's release, they did a big shakeup in the Superman book, which inexplicably and awesomely gave him a new costume change. And guys, I absolutely love this costume. They gave him the red boots back, he's got an awesome belt with a splash of yellow in the shield buckle, it's absolutely dope. And how the hell do we not have an action figure of this? It is absolutely gorgeous! Well, DC Essentials was originally going to be releasing this version of the costume in their most recent line. However, they restored Superman to his classic wardrobe for Action Comics 1000, and this design was taken off the table and replaced with a more traditional Superman deco. Sadness! Over at Marvel Comics right now, Donny Cates is big shit, and rightfully so. He's putting out some of the most awesome books in the Marvel line. But, arguably, one of the most popular among these has to be Cosmic Ghost Rider. And I mean, how could he not be? He's got the powers of a Ghost Rider. He's got the powers cosmic given to him by Galactus, and to top it all off, he's a millions of years old Frank Castle. Not to mention, look at the absolutely killer design, which perfectly blends the iconography of Ghost Rider and the Punisher with a cool intergalactic cosmic feel layered on top. He's just undeniably 100% bona fide badass. And it is a crime that despite the fact that he was only introduced this last year, we don't have an action figure of him. I know, these things take time, but I need it. I need it now! I've said it before, and I will say it again. The Crow by James OBARR is my absolute favorite comic book ever. It is beautiful and hideous and disturbing and uplifting in its relatability. It's just everything I could possibly want a comic book to be. And I'm also a big fan of the movie, and as a diehard fan of both, I've wondered for quite some time, how is it possible that we do not, as of yet, have a comic book accurate representation of Eric from the original source material in toy form? Once again, there are a few examples of this version of the character in statue form, but that is not the same thing. And don't get me wrong, I've had multiple variations on the Brandon Lee version of this character, and I've loved all of them. I mean, look right there, I've got the Reflections pack. But look at these images from the original source material. The movie Eric has an undeniably cool look, but the Eric from the comic has multitudes of them, and all as awesome as his movie counterparts. Ideally, we get something from maybe the 112 collective, that way we can have the multiple coats, several interchangeable heads, and all the other goodies that they usually pack with their figures. But hell again, the character appears in the original source material in such a varied range of looks that in reality, if you were to sell the license to multiple companies with different limitations put on each, we could end up with an insane plethora of awesomeness. The Crow franchise is one with a rabid fan base who devour any merchandise we can get our hands on, and yeah, sure, a lot of that fan base really is more endeared to the film than to the comic, but just as many of them are like me, who started off with the film, found the comic, and fell in love with it. But either way, the abundant lack of merchandise from the original graphic novel out there means that any company who would move on this stands to make a bundle. It is complete and utter madness that we don't have this yet. And I mean, where is it? Come on! I need it! I mean, when's it gonna be my time, right? I need it, okay?
Victims, aren't we all?
Right on, guys, those were my top 3 action figure nerd needs, and I don't know what else to say. I need them. But you know what? I know that everybody's nerd needs are different. So let me know down in the comments below, what is your ultimate action figure nerd need? And I want to thank you guys very much for joining me for the first episode of Nerd Needs in 2019. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and share it with some friends. Also, if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, hit that little bell so you can get updates on all the dope content I'll have coming out in the future. Furthermore, guys, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, I will have the links for that in the description below. Once again, thank you very much, children of the screen. Hope you all have a good one. Nerd Scum, out.